Clean start the second time round. The under-20 women's 3,000 metres. The Ondieki 3,000 metres. And for the inside, it's Celia, Sullohern, New South Wales. Under-20 cross-country champion, World Cross-Country Championship representative. Samantha Prime of Victoria, Sarah Waters, Victoria, Scarlett Duncan from Western Australia, Natalie Smith of Tasmania, Liana Fitzpatrick, Victoria, Rosie Donegan from Victoria, Courtney Scott, who we see lead them through the first 200 metres in the colours of her Ballarat and Clarendon College School, also from Victoria. Tamsin McMahon, Sarah Deuble of Queensland, Leah Polycarpou, the Victorian, Annabelle Wilson, a world mountain running representative from Victoria, Leshay Wells of Queensland, Tessa Potensi of South Australia, Eliza Barton from New South Wales, and Grace Brown of Victoria rounds out the 16 athlete field. It appears we've lost one athlete, and it appears to be Lee Rue of Victoria, who was disqualified for the false start that transpired. As we see the athletes just starting to settle down at the front end of the field. It's Courtney Scott that's tucked back into third place. The Queenslander in Leshay Wells leading the pace through the early stages. Celia Sullohern just tucked in behind her. In fact, it's Sarah Deuble that's moved through into the lead. Back to Celia Sullohern, second place. Scott just tacking her way up onto fourth is the Tasmanian in Natalie Smith. The next chase group of athletes, Leshay Wells, the Queenslander, to her outside in the orange at Scarlett Duncan. So they move through 6 laps. But at the front of the field, it's Deuble, Celia Sullohern, Courtney Scott, and Natalie Smith. So it's Sullohern that's moved to the front, and we'll take them down to collect the 1,000 metre mark. 5 laps remaining. Deuble back to second place. Courtney Scott and the Tasmanian Natalie Smith, our leading group of 4. Sullohern, the best credentialed athlete in this field. 3:05.63 they'll go through in. So Deuble just staying right onto back there is Celia Sullohern, as we see the athletes just starting to pair off. So Sullohern and Deuble, our leading duo on the track. Scott and Smith, the Tasmanian. And back to, looks like Leshay Wells into 5th place at this stage. Of course, so Sullohern leading this Ondieki 3,000 metres. Of course, Lisa Ondieki, the namesake of this event, a silver medalist in the marathon at the 1988 Seoul Olympics. Also taken out the women's Zatopek race across at Olympic Park in years gone by, 1994. A tenacious victory on the back of a marathon she ran 2 weeks earlier in Tokyo. So 4 laps remaining. Celia Sullohern will soon her race at the World Cross Country Championships on numerous occasions in the junior event. And she's also taken out the under-20 title and other age group titles across the journey. And no stranger to the track as well. So it's Celia Sullohern and Sarah Deuble of Queensland. And still into 3rd place now goes Natalie Smith, the Tasmanian. Courtney Scott, based out of Ballarat, into 4th place, the athlete coached by Rod Griffin. And 5th place, Tessa Potensi of South Australia has just moved up through the rankings. So they're moving through. They'll collect 3 laps remaining when they go through the start-finish line very shortly. As Sullohern we just see starting to stretch a slight advantage. There's really been two athletes at the front end of the field that's really driven the pace, and Sullohern continuing to run to her own tempo, leaving Deuble in her wake, it would seem, just stretching at what was a couple of strides out to 10 metres up the home stretch. And Smith just starting to do similar to Courtney Scott in fourth place. So Potsdam of South Australia, fifth place, as we see Sullohern still making her way at the lead of the field. Deuble, Natalie Smith, Tasmania. Back through to Courtney Scott, Tessa Potsdam. Grace Brown there in that next group of athletes, alongside the New South Wales athlete in Eliza Barson in that next group of four on the track. Leshay Wells just dropping back from that group in about ninth place at this stage, back to Leah Polycarpou. So we'll pick Sullohern split through 2,000 metres, 6:15.79, so 3-minute 10 second kilometre, went out in 3:05, 6:15 was her second kilometre split. So the pace has slowed at the front end of the field, but Sullohern's continue to extend her advantage, and she'll come down and take 2 laps remaining, well clear at this stage of Deuble, Queensland, third place. It's still Natalie Smith as we see Potsdam into fourth place, Scott back to fifth. 2 laps remaining in this women's Ondieki, 3,000 metres. And as Sullohern moves through 600 metres remaining, we can quickly introduce the women's triple jump, which has got underway on the back straight. Just the 4 starters, Nelly Sky of Victoria, Nick Parr of New Zealand, Australia, champion Australia of Victoria, and Philadelphia national champion of the world, University Games representative. So 4 athletes underway now in the women's triple jump. Straight down to Sullohern. Stretching away very nicely. She'll come down to collect 1 lap remaining. Crowd just starting to get behind her, really working hard at the front end of the field. Deuble, the Queenslander, second place. Smith still holding on to third as the challenge just starting to come through now from Potsdam. Leshay Wells has fought up from 7th or 8th place into the top 5. As we see Courtney Scott just starting to drop back. Rosie Donegan and Grace Brown, the next placed athletes on the track, along with Tamsin McMahon of South Australia. But it's been all Celia Sullohern. And if we look at this race as a breeding ground of future Zatopek athletes, we've seen Lara Tamsin graduate from this 3,000 metre event into the senior ranks and take out 2 Zatopek 10 titles on the back of victories in this 3,000 metre event, as we see Celia Sullohern inside 200 metres remaining, and the best part of 100 metres now her advantage. She's really opened up over the second half of this women's Ondieki 3,000 metres. So into the home stretch now. She went out in 3:05, 6:15 was her split at 2,000 metres, but Celia Sullohern in a league of her own here at Albert Park on Lakeside Stadium. Very impressive running by the New South Wales athlete. Australian representative at the World Cross Country Championships, going to come down to the line and cross inside 6:30, 6:26.29. Deuble will come down into second place at this stage. We see Leshay Wells moving up into third place, back to Smith and Potsdam, 4th, 5th the battle. Really starting to fight through. McMahon into 6th place over Grace Brown. Deuble will take the silver medal, second place in the Ondieki 3000. Leshay Wells round out the top 3. Just at the line, going to get up is Natalie Smith, Tasmania. In front of Potsdam, South Australia, Grace Brown from McMahon, Donegan, Scott.
How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm really excited. Yeah, it's just a great feeling to get out and race on track. So yeah.
Is this your first race here at this track?
It is. Yeah. So very nice new stadium, and it was actually pretty good conditions. We missed most of the rain, so yeah.
And were you happy with your performance and your time, or?
I was. It was a little bit off my best, but you know that's how it is with the conditions, and